Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're unpacking a fascinating and, honestly, kind of alarming modern Trojan horse narrative. We're looking at how an everyday convenience, that little autonomous vacuum zooming around your living room, has silently evolved into a sophisticated Internet of Things edge computing device. Yep, the exact same machine that constantly gets stuck on your rug is actively mapping your home. Let's dive right into this. I mean, it's a heavy question, right? Is your vacuum a surveillance device? We usually associate these things with the totally mundane chore of picking up pet hair and crumbs. But the second you start looking at the underlying technology, you suddenly have to introduce these really high-stakes cybersecurity terms into the conversation. We're talking about concepts like architectural profiling and acoustic leakage. Because the machine cleaning your floors is simultaneously building a highly accurate, incredibly data-rich model of your private sanctuary. Here is our agenda for today. 1. The evolution of smart vacuums. 2. How LiDAR maps your home. 3. Cloud pipelines and weak spots. 4. Real-world hacking scenarios. 5. Securing your private spaces. And 6. The future of robot privacy. All right, Section 1. The evolution of smart vacuums. We've basically lived through 3 distinct security paradigms. Think back to the pre-2015 era. This was the bump sensor era. Your vacuum just sort of walked randomly around the room until it bumped into a wall, turned around, and kept going. The security risk there was basically zero unless someone literally broke in and picked up the machine. Then, from about 2015 to 2020, we entered the VSLAM era. Devices started processing optical camera data to figure out where they were, which introduced our first real privacy concerns and some local network flaws. But then, we hit 2020 to the present, the LiDAR and cloud era. Suddenly, vacuums are using time-of-flight sensors, they're connecting to APIs, and they're collecting just massive amounts of spatial metadata. The risk expanded from simple physical access to persistent, high-fidelity cloud vulnerabilities. Moving to Section 2, how LiDAR maps your home. The absolute magic behind all this precision is SLAM, Simultaneous Localization and Mapping. I absolutely love this concept. Imagine being dropped into a pitch-black maze you've never seen before. SLAM is the computational equivalent of you feeling the walls to draw a mental map in your head, while simultaneously figuring out exactly where you're standing on that map you're currently drawing. It is a massive computational feat, and your vacuum does it flawlessly, hundreds of times a second to establish total spatial awareness. So how does that computational magic build into an actual data architecture? Track this with me. At the sensor layer, a tiny LiDAR module emits infrared laser pulses. We're talking 800 to 900 nanometers. It measures the time of flight, which is basically just how long it takes for that photon to bounce off your couch and return. This builds a 3D point cloud. Next, that data hits the edge processing layer. A surprisingly powerful onboard chip, like an ARM Cortex-A, runs those SLAM algorithms we just talked about to define exactly where your walls and your furniture are. And finally, it reaches the application layer, where your map is packaged up via protocols like MQTT or HTTPS and shot straight up to the cloud so you can see it on your phone. Section 3. Cloud pipelines and weak spots. This is where the story shifts from the really impressive physical engineering of the robot to the systemic architectural flaws of the digital cloud. What's truly concerning about consumer-grade robotics is how often they cut corners. Just look at these specific vulnerabilities. Many manufacturers leave API keys hard-coded right into the firmware, meaning an attacker can just spoof your vacuum's ID. Then there's weak TLS or SSL implementations. Sometimes the device doesn't properly validate security certificates, and that allows for man-in-the-middle attacks, where someone can literally intercept your raw map data in transit. Even the MQTT topics, the channels the vacuum uses to talk to the cloud, are sometimes so wildly predictable that hackers can just guess them and subscribe to your vacuum's data stream. Ultimately, it all points to a data-as-a-service model, where your home's geometry is sitting on a third-party server, often without end-to-end encryption. And if that wasn't concerning enough, get this. Researchers recently discovered something called LiDAR acoustic leakage, sometimes dubbed the LidarPhone exploit. Because these lasers measure microscopic changes in distance, if a hacker forces the sensor to sample at a high enough rate above 1 kilohertz, they can potentially measure the tiny acoustic vibrations bouncing off objects in your room. Yeah, you heard that right. They can theoretically turn the navigational laser into a localized microphone to pick up conversations. Now, it requires custom firmware to execute, so it's not super easy, but it is a wild and high-severity threat. The really crucial point here is that you absolutely get what you pay for. When comparing features across price tiers, if you buy a budget unit, you're likely dealing with plain text, unencrypted data, no secure boot to stop malicious firmware, and static API tokens. Moving up to mid-range gets you some basic TLS encryption and rotating tokens, but your cloud dependency is still mandatory. It actually isn't until you reach high-end or enterprise levels that you start seeing endpoint end-to-end encryption, hardware-rooted trust, and the ability to run the device in a local-only mode. Basically, cheap hardware directly translates to sacrificed cryptography.
Section 4. Real-world hacking scenarios.
Let's take all this theory and see exactly how security researchers and, potential malicious actors actually exploit these machines. In our first escalating scenario, cloud API impersonation, an attacker doesn't even need to touch your vacuum. They just need to grab a security token associated with a common IoT platform. Using standard API documentation, they send a request for the floor map JSON object. And just like that, boom, the server hands over a complete coordinate-based map of your entire living area. But it's not just the layout. It includes your restricted zones and your cleaning schedules. They know the exact layout of your house, and based on the schedule data, they know exactly when you aren't home. Case Study B escalates things to the physical level with local firmware patching. Sometimes devices ship with open serial ports or unlocked bootloaders. If an attacker gains physical access, maybe it's a compromised secondhand unit or an intercepted package, they can connect to a UART debug header right on the circuit board. They flash a custom malicious firmware image. This disables the security telemetry and secretly redirects all your map data to a third-party listener. To you, the vacuum works perfectly fine, it's cleaning great, but it's been totally hijacked to act as a permanent spy in your home.
Section 5. Securing your private spaces.
Okay, I know we've raised the anxiety level a bit, but let's bring it back down. You are not helpless here. You just need to treat your smart vacuum as an inherently untrusted endpoint. Here are 3 actionable steps you can take today. First, network segmentation. Put all your IoT devices, including your vacuum, on a dedicated VLAN, a virtual local area network. Set strict firewall rules that deny all inbound traffic. Second, multi-factor authentication. Enable MFA on the app account managing your vacuum. This stops that API credential theft we saw in the first case study dead in its tracks. And third, physical masking. If your LiDAR vacuum also has a camera module for object recognition, literally just use a physical lens cover when it's sitting on its dock. Super simple, but incredibly effective. And finally, Section 6, the future of robot privacy. Let's look to the horizon. The industry is definitely aware of this massive surveillance vector, and the architecture is shifting to fix it. The key to closing the cloud exfiltration vector entirely is the NPU, or Neural Processing Unit. This is a specialized circuit built right into the device to handle heavy AI and machine learning workloads locally. Right now, vacuums send data to the cloud because the cloud has the computing muscle to figure out if that object on the floor is a shoe or, a pet mess. But by shifting that processing to an onboard NPU, the vacuum can do the math itself, meaning your raw map data never needs to leave your house.
Moving forward, true security lies in edge intelligence, keeping topographical data safely localized. We're also looking at regulatory mandates. Frameworks like GDPR and CCPA will very likely force manufacturers to provide a functional local-only mode for all LiDAR devices right out of the box. And physically, we'll see the adoption of hardware security modules in mass-market robotics, ensuring that even if someone opens up the machine, those cryptographic keys are completely protected from physical tampering.
So it all comes down to a trade-off. It's a calculation we make every single time we bring a new smart device into our homes. I want to leave you with this question to chew on. Is the convenience of cloud-based navigation worth the architectural profiling of your private sanctuary? It is a fascinating technological evolution for sure, but staying informed and segmented is absolutely the best way to keep your floors clean and your data secure. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions, and I'll catch you next time.